Well, hello internets. Here we are. We have ourselves a start to another vlog. It's been, I'm not sure how long since my last vlog. It's kind of the way she goes sometimes. So let's try to get one going, and away we roll. Well, like I said there, not sure when my last vlog was. Not exactly sure where I was in terms of, goings on and stuff. But I think it's been a good week, maybe more, maybe closer to 2 since my last vlog. I believe my last vlog included the end of my first aid course or so, and the possibility of starting the job on that Monday. Well, that Monday came, and I went into work, and I was supposed to start some computer training and then some like job type shadowing. Well, my trainer guy was sick. Okay, whatever, it's flu season. Humans get sick, so I just chalked it up as, well, it's the way it is, right? Something didn't sit right, when I was at home here thinking, my trainer guy is older. He comes from a generation where if you were sick, you still went into work, and it just didn't sit right. Well, Tuesday rolls around, and I go back into work, and my boss is there, which is odd, because well, he's out of the city, and he doesn't, most of the time bosses don't come down unless skulls are to be busted or, something big's going on, right? So, well, apparently, remember that drug test that I did? I guess, apparently the drug test showed some stuff, medical stuff, as he said in the report, nothing to do with drugs or illegal substances or nothing, but apparently I'm at risk for certain health conditions in this line of work, which to me is odd. What do they call the guys with diabetes or alcoholism or emphysema or something where they have trouble breathing? They're still getting hired. They're still part of the crew. However, I think the excuse they used was a weak excuse. In my books anyway, in my mind. Because if they didn't want me to be part of their crew, why did they hire me? Why did they waste a week of my life putting me into courses and schooling? Why not just say, hey, you're not the right fit for the team. We found a more suitable candidate. Been through that before, right? That being said, I have no idea even if I'm able to keep the first aid and H2S certificates that I did the courses on, because technically they paid for the courses. So, are they mine? Even though I passed the course, I didn't pay for it. So are they going to be jerks and keep the certificates for themselves because, again, they paid for them? I have no idea there. I guess that's kind of one of them things, right? Well, unfortunately, in my life, there's been so many downs in the last few years, and not a lot of ups, and sometimes the downs, pile up and get you down, and you kinda, or me anyway, kinda gotta shut down and hide away for a while. However, hiding away for a while only gets you so long before you gotta come out and you know, pay bills or do banking or fuel up the truck or buy propane for the barbecue and stuff like that, right? And hiding away is not good, at least not good for me anyway. You know, I tend to, you know, den up and hide away from everybody, everything, even though I shouldn't. And you know, it's not good mentally and socially, physically, all that. But I really thought this job was the one. I thought this job was good. I had a good feeling going into this job, and I thought it was gonna be the one, you know. But then you get blindsided like this with this weak excuse, you know. I got health risks that they're concerned about. You know, exposures to chemicals could cause other things. Well, that's normal, right? You know, you can get skin cancer for being exposed to engine oil, you know, or, you know, lung issues from being exposed to other chemicals as well. And that goes for everybody, you know. And the excuse they gave me, I felt, was rather weak. And I don't know. Maybe I should bark and complain and report them to something, but report them to who and why? Because I'll never get the job, you know. They won't hire me back because I made a big fuss, and if they do, yeah, you don't want to be part of that team, right? So it is what it is, right? I am back on the hunt once again, which is nothing new. I've been hunting for the last few years, and I seem to land them, and they do the interview and they hire me, and then before I could start, or when I could start, somebody else or somebody better comes along. And I don't understand why they have to waste resources or build a guy up or send a guy for training just to let him down. You know, if they don't like me for who I am, or don't like my credentials for what they are, my experience, then why hire me, you know? That's the way the employee market is right now here in Alberta, is they switch out people left, right, and center, you know, until they get their well-oiled machine that they want. We're just expendable, used parts. So of course I'm trying to mentally get over all the letdown, because like I said, I really had my heart on this job. It looked like it was going to be a good job, an interesting job, the kind of job that quite possibly I could be at for 10 years or more, you know. I have about 20 years left of my working life, maybe 25 if I had the right job, and I fully expected or thought that this here job was the one. This here job could work out to be the one that I'd spend, you know, a lot of time at. But, well, that's the way it is. I don't even see them advertising the position again. And being they were a new company in town with the economy the way it is, I'm wondering if maybe they second-guessed themselves or jumped the gun and started hiring staff when they shouldn't have, maybe, and decided to hold off opening in this here town for a little while longer. I guess. I have no idea. All I know is, you know, it sucks, right? I guess that's life. That's the way she rolls. And how you handle the punches, I guess, is what makes you you. Well, today I want to go out and try to fuel up the truck. I want to have me a barbecue, so I gotta go get me a propane tank of fuel. And, well, obviously, put out some more resumes and see where it all goes from there. But, pretty much, guys, gonna go inside, make some coffee or so, and we'll catch you all later. Well, hello, internets. Here we are. A little bit of an afternoon update. Still haven't gone out yet. Spent the morning on the phone dealing with various things, trying to get things rolling, troubleshooting issues. Had to deal with the job or the former job in their payroll department, trying to get my last 4 days pay. Obviously they're out of the city, and obviously my paperwork wasn't fully complete because my trainer hadn't showed up that Monday because he was sick. So had to get them to email it to me, and I gotta fill it out, scan it back in, and email it back. And well, you remember, what has it been, 2.5, 3 weeks ago, I was helping some people to buy a vehicle. I approximately had about 4 people on the line that were looking to buy new vehicles, and kind of put them in touch with the dealership that I bought my truck from. And through a roundabout way, they've kind of dropped the ball. I'm not quite sure what was going on, where the ball got dropped, but the finance person that was dealing with the one person quit, or got fired in fact, and nobody followed up on their cases or their files. The same thing happened to me when I was buying the lift kit for the Canyon. I got video proof of that, and I waited like 3 months for the kit to come in and get that phone call, and here it turns out it hadn't even been ordered yet because the guy that was dealing with me quit, and nobody there decided to follow up on his work orders that were open or his files. And that's pretty much what happened here. Is the salesman that sold me my truck, I called, put in contact the people, and the salesman got everything going through finance, and he was kind of overseeing everything, being the mediator, go-between between me, them, and the financing. And when the finance person quit, he never checked in to see if we had changed our minds or everything gone through or what. Like, obviously he's a salesman, he's gonna have to do the pre-delivery inspection and be there when we picked up the vehicle. So obviously if they never met with him to pick up the new vehicle, then obviously the sale or the financing didn't go through or something, right? So you would think the salesman, if he really wanted to have made a sale, were to have followed up and said, hey, what's going on? Then they or we would have said, or they would have said, well, we hadn't received a phone call yet. Well, it turns out the finance lady got fired, and nobody follows up. Why is it that businesses are like that? They always say customer this, customer that, customer means this and that, but yet when it comes down to it, it doesn't. The issues with the paint I was dealing with on the topper of the 2016 Canyon, the hassle we went through there, I was almost to the point where I was ready to say, don't worry about it, I'll deal with the peeling paint, and like I said, the lift level kit, and really all it did was cost the business money, because when I bought the topper for the brand new truck here, it didn't come from Lloyd here. I drove to Innisfail, Alberta, and picked it up there, which is way out of the way, but I saved money and I didn't have to deal locally. And same with this dealership. I knew or know of 4 people that were looking for vehicles. 2 of them purchased local because of everything that was going on with the financing department, and the other 2 are seriously thinking about buying but won't be from the dealership in the city. So really they lost 4 businesses, 4 transactions, 4 sales, all because the finance lady dropped the ball and the salesman never followed up on her files. I called the sales manager this morning wondering what was going on, because it's been a week since I had any communication from that end at all, and the sales manager gave me the impression that he was far too busy to hear what I had to say, and transferred me to a finance person that had no idea what was going on, nor could remedy the situation. So it's like, really? They must have had a really good fall and made a lot of money on the sales when I bought the truck here, because they sure don't need the business now. In the fall they needed the business. It was less than a week, I believe, and I had a brand new truck sitting in my driveway, where it's been 3 weeks here and the person still don't have their vehicle. So it's like, you know, it is what it is. Big companies getting bigger, losing touch with their customers, losing touch with their staff. I guess that is what makes the world go around. But pretty much, guys, probably going to head her out here, trying to fill the propane tank before the day is over. Maybe stop by the shoe store and try to return those shoes. It's been a good 3 weeks to a month, so they may not return them. Even though they're brand new, they got that, 14-day return policy. So you guessed her. We'll see how she rolls. Catch y'all later. Well, hello internet. Here we are. Little bit of an update. Well, just got back from heading out to fill that propane tank and well, gassing up the truck and all that good stuff. Totally forgot to take back the shoes, but we can deal with that another day. Currently got the barbecue warming up. I'm gonna barbecue a couple of steaks. I haven't had real meat in, well, a very long time, and you kind of start to crave it and want it, right? Well, I had a little bit of a frustrating day dealing with people that don't really know how to do their job. It's not like I'm a chronic complainer or I, look for conflict or trouble, but it seems that, when you need them the most, they're not there. And it's like, if they're doing this to me, who else are they doing it to? And especially when you've told some of your friends or acquaintances what a good dealership they were or are when I bought the new truck. And then they hold off on a sale to go deal up there, and then end up getting the runaround and then buying local anyway. And you find that out, and it's like, really? Imagine the feeling you get when you have your heart set on your first brand new vehicle, and then to get the runaround like this. I've been through it. I've had my heart set on a couple of vehicles, and it's been crushed because of numbers, because they're not willing to make the sale. Even though I darn well know that I could pay for the vehicle or the truck or whatever it is, they won't okay it, because in their mind, the numbers don't work. However, at the end of every month I have that much money free and clear, plus. I've been through that before. However, they'll okay somebody else, the same truck, and that person will have more income than what I do. Then they will default on the loan, and it makes rest of us look bad. Especially with the Alberta economy the way it is right now, there has been a lot of losses, dealt by banks and lenders. People have quit making their payments, and people's vehicles have been mysteriously stolen. If your vehicle is stolen by thieves, they're not going to drive it around for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then take it to a farmer's field, jack it up, take the wheels off it, and burn it. They're going to take it to their chop shop, wherever it is, and strip it out. And you'll pretty much never find it again. Maybe find the frame or the parts they didn't want, but you'll very seldom ever recover it in, resemblance of what it was. Where a lot of the vehicles that are being stolen, they find them in 24, 48 hours with the hood off, the wheels missing, the stereo gone. Sometimes they burn them, sometimes they don't. And it really makes the insurance company mad when they have to pay that out. And in the long run, it actually costs you and I more money now to insure our vehicles. There's a couple people that I know, and even one person that I know on YouTube, that bought a brand new Ford, you know, whether it's an F-150, F-250, F-350, and they're one of the most common stolen vehicles at this time in Canada. And they have to pay a higher insurance even though their lifestyle is very low risk because of other people and their vehicles being mysteriously stolen and burnt, or, you know, never recovered or whatever, right? I guess we all pay when somebody else screws up. It's just the way our system is. You know, all that takes an account, and when an honest person goes to buy a house, they have to pass a larger test now, a financial test now per se, where years ago they would hand you the keys if you said your name was so-and-so, you know. Years ago they'd hand you the keys if you could even pronounce your name. When I bought the 2015 GMC Canyon, I didn't even have to prove my income. I didn't even have to show them where I worked or pay stubs or nothing. I walked in there and said, hey, I want that vehicle. Said I made X number of dollars a month. Walked out without the keys. It was the shortest qualification process for any vehicle that I've ever bought to this day. And I didn't even have a job then. When I bought that truck, I didn't even have a job. I was out of work already for 6 months then. And it's like, really? Zero income and I still qualified? And that's the kind of risk factor that they are trying to avoid, because push comes to shove, a lot of people wouldn't have made the sacrifice I made and sold it back to the dealership and lost money. Some people would have made the insurance company pay and had a buddy steal the truck, or it mysteriously catches on fire. I have been through that end of the stage or game a couple of times in the past, and once was with like a truck that was only worth about $1,200, and the insurance company was, you know, okay with it, sort of. The second vehicle was with a car that was financed for about $25,000. There was a small issue on the side of the road with one of my wheels coming loose. So I pulled over, didn't have my cell phone, it was dead, it was charging at home. I know, stupid excuse, but it's the truth. I walked home to get my other vehicle and call a tow truck. And by the time I got back, somebody had vandalized it on the side of the road. Well, then there was the third vehicle, which was I think it was financed for $35,000 or $38,000, and it was only a couple of months old, like maybe a year old tops. And well, somebody vandalized it here, sitting in my driveway. I didn't have the motion lights like I do now, and I didn't have the security system like I do now. I guess that's how you learn, right? And my insurance company almost did not pay that out. They were looking for any excuse at all to deny the claim. However, I had a good job, I hadn't missed the payments, I wasn't in financial distress, I wasn't in any type of collection issues, didn't have bad credit, didn't have nothing. And they were forced to pay it out. However, my insurance did go up, and I have pretty much paid for the best part of that car over the last, well, it would have been 10 years. And that's kind of the way it goes. It's sort of a user pay, you know, pay for your own stupidity and pay for others. And that's kind of the way the whole financing thing is, regardless of what the item is nowadays, especially in this economy. It just sucks when you refer one of your friends or a couple of your friends and they have bad experiences, and then all of a sudden they're mad at you because you told them to try another dealership where they could have been driving a brand new vehicle already if they would have went with the dealership that was local. How are you supposed to know they were going to screw up, you know? I guess it is what it is. But pretty much, guys, going to start the barbecue here, throw the meat on, get everything going and rolling. and see how she rolls later. We come to the end of another day. Well, a little bit of a stressful-ish, frustrating day. That's the way it goes, right? You know, like I mentioned earlier, it kind of makes me feel responsible, guilty, if you want to say, that I pushed my friends to deal with a dealership that gave good service to me, and then they have opposite service. You know, there's only so much I can do to make the deal go right, to make them get into their new vehicle. You know, I very well can't go down and buy it for them, because that's just not the way the world works, or at least my world works. And if the dealership, the finance people, the salesman, the sales manager, pretty much in those orders, you know, drops the ball, then, well, I guess it is what it is. You know, it's happened before in the past, and it still continues to happen. Even though they say they want your sale, the impression they give you is that they really don't. They don't want your sale. They don't need your business, because if they would have needed your business, then they would have made sure that everything was took care of. Especially them firing a finance person. You know, you would have definitely followed up on her work orders or open files to make sure things were closed off. Especially being that the salesman that I was dealing with, or they were dealing with, or we were dealing with, knew exactly that we wanted this vehicle, and you know, dropped the ball, right? That's the way life goes. Look at a positive side. Things happen for a reason, right? Maybe buying a new vehicle for them at this time is not a good choice, and it was would have been an impulse buy. You know, maybe they should pay down their debt, take care of the car loan they currently have, take care of their debt, their bank loan, stuff like that. And in, you know, 8 months or a year, or even, you know, the fall of 2019 or 2020, try again, and things will be in a better position for everybody to do it then. It's just frustrating, you know, the way the world works, the way everything happens, the way things have to happen to work. And I've bought, you know, several vehicles and never really had this kind of issue until just the last few years. You know, has the old generation of salespeople died off, and you have the new, you know, Tide Pod eating generation of salespeople? Or has customer service really changed that much since the economy went south that they really don't want to deal with you? You know, it is what it is, right? In life, we have to pick our battles. We have to know what we can control, know what we can do, and know what we can. Can just smile and nod and back away. It is what it is, you know, and to recognize that, to not let that kind of stress in your life, is definitely a good thing. Because, well, you can't help the salesperson, you can't help the finance person, you can't help the doctor, you can't help the guy driving down the highway who just had a fight with his wife, or you know, his wife just had a fight with the husband. You know, you can't help them being distracted. You have to take care of yourself. I just, like I said, I feel a little bit responsible for the whole runaround, the whole ordeal. You know, they could have had a brand new vehicle sitting in their driveway, but I wanted them to try the dealership I bought from, because they would have got a better deal, better price, and better financing. But when this kind of thing happens, it makes you feel guilty. It's just human nature, I guess, to feel responsible when you steer somebody wrong. But pretty much, guys, gonna end it all here. Remember, we do have a fan mail box for all your fan mail needs. The address is down below. Send me a letter, send me a decal. If you write me, I will write you back. That being said, make sure you have a legible address and postal or zip code, because, well, without that, mail doesn't seem to make it on through. Remember, also, we do have the social media links as well. Check them out and join up with our other channels, with our other pages and all that stuff. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.